All right, you're sure you're ready?
Hold on. Okay, now I'm ready.
All right, sounds good. Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be going over Deadwood's new Clan Boss calculator. I am excited for this. It is absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do is go straight to the source and talk to him about the release of this new Clan Boss calculator tool that you can use to optimize your Clan Boss teams. And as always, I will put a link down below to Deadwood Jedi's channel. You should definitely check out his stuff if you have not yet, because he does amazing stuff for the raid community. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, now I am joined by Mr. Deadwood Jedi. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Joseph. Thanks for having me on, man. It's very exciting times.
You got it. Haven't touched base with you for about 3 or 4 weeks now, since about Christmas Eve when we did the live Clan Boss build. That was a lot of fun. So what's new with you? Anything besides the calculator we're gonna go over today that's new with you?
No, that's pretty much the only new thing right now. It's kind of for me, it's kind of the big new thing. I think that's a pretty fair way to phrase that.
Cool. So I'll let you kind of walk through the basics here. I know you maybe can't see this, but I've got your website, DeadwoodJedi.com, pulled up. And I've got the section where what you will see, like the splash screen, it's got like a welcome page here on your Clan Boss calculator. So I wanted to let you kind of walk through, when you go to DeadwoodJedi.com, how you would go about accessing this newer version of your tool from like the homepage.
Absolutely. Well, like when you go to my website, DeadwoodJedi.com, all you got to do is click on the tab up at the top that says Clan Boss Calculator. It's real complex. I know it's kind of counterintuitive, but all you gotta do is click on that, and it'll take you straight to this page, I believe, that we're at, or a login page right before. But basically, it'll take you to the Clan Boss Calculator. Once you're here, that splash page opens up.
Now, one second. Can you explain the login part of it? Like, how do people, what passwords and usernames and because I know, like, I used Twitch. Is that the only option, or can you just touch on that real quick?
Of course. So there's a couple things you guys should know about the Clan Boss. One, everything that you were familiar with the old Clan Boss is still available now for free. You don't have to log in. You don't have to do anything else. And even with that, there's some new features added to this. So you guys, you're comfortable doing that, you can still do that. If you want to support the work that we're doing and help us progress it, make it more, get more stuff going into this Clan Boss calculator, then you'll want to sign up through either Twitch, being a tier 2 partner on Twitch with me, or through my Patreon and just being a Calculator Cowboy level on that. Basically, it's a $5 subscription fee, and it's going to give you all the stuff everybody else gets, of course, plus a little bit more, including being able to save your own compositions, getting a unique URL so you can save and share it, and anything coming down the pipe. Like, I'm going to be incorporating dealing with affinities for the Clan Boss, hopefully dealing with some stun calculations or work with the Clan Boss, adding stuff like the arena calculator and being able to save and share those comps as well. I think is going to be very valuable to people. So anything that kind of comes down the road that we innovate, that's just going to be available for those that take that, what I call the epic version subscription for this, for the calculator. But everything you guys love already, everything that you've grown accustomed to, it's still going to be free. It's still going to be available to everybody. And I'm going to, assuming that we get enough support from the general community, I expect it to stay that way in perpetuity. So that's kind of the goal there. So like when you're first logging in, all you got to hit that Clan Boss calculator on the tab, and then it'll take you to the login page. And there in the top right corner, there's going to be a login button. And if you're a Twitch member or a Patreon subscriber, you just click on that, click sign in with Twitch or sign in with Patreon, and boom, you're good to go. It's actually really simple. It just links those accounts. Basically, just checks with those 2 different accounts and says, "Oh, are you this certain level? If you are, great." And then it'll let you in, and that way you can go ahead and it opens up some of the new features for the Clan Boss.
Okay, so your Clan Boss version 1.0 is as is. Like available as it was, and then this is kind of like an updated premium version, or?
No. I've taken that first Clan Boss calculator completely off. It's not on the website anymore. It's not available at all. It's a hidden thing. It's not there. Even I think if you click on old links, it should actually forward you to this new Clan Boss calculator, because this one does everything the old one did and more for everybody. You don't have to pay anything to be able to access all the old stuff and the newer features to it. So you're looking to build your Clan Boss team and you're out of work, you don't have any money, you're a student or something. Yeah, you can still use this thing without having to pay a dime. You got the opportunity to join the Patreon. You can get some extra features on top of it.
Oh, okay. So that's where I was confused. Like the old one's gone, and then you have for free, you've got access to the new one, just not some of those like over the top features like saving and sharing maybe or something.
Exactly. So there's going to be things that are going to be coming down the road, right? Like I definitely want to make this an arena calculator. Take the arena calculator I have currently and port it over to this display system, essentially, this web browser version. When you do that, you're going to want to save your arena teams, I'm pretty sure. You're probably already going to want to save your Clan Boss teams. If you're part of the Epic version, you can do that. The freed version, you can't save your teams, but I got to hold a little bit something back. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to fund this thing, quite frankly. It takes a lot of effort to update it. It takes a lot of effort to innovate and create new stuff. And, without really the support of everybody out there, I just can't do that because I can't do it alone. I have a partner that I work with, and he actually volunteered a ton of his time. I mean, it took us over 6 months to build this thing. He just volunteered a ton of his time just to get us up and running. And, at this point, I need him to continue helping me. And at some point, I need to reward him for that effort. And I don't make enough money doing the YouTube and Twitch game to pay for myself, not to mention, the calculator and paying him and helping him to contribute. So this is one way I think that can actually, push things forward. And, I'm really excited about it. Like the chases we have here, the calculations and stuff, it gives us a really firm foundation to continue to build on things and create some new stuff. Like, I would love to be able to use this for dungeon bosses, for example. I'd love to be able to use this, for Doom Tower bosses. I think that kind of stuff would be great. Not to mention whatever else comes down the line. And we get, new champions coming every 30 days, it seems like, having to keep those updated, make sure that the bug, there's no bugs being introduced. They have there's always new mechanics being introduced in here. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to do with this, but that takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort. And while I'm happy to do a lot of that, I can't do it alone. So I think that covers it. It's one of those things where I know we have a massive player base that is accustomed to these tools being free to use, and I would love to, and I want to support that. That's why I'm making everything I've had out there already continue to make that free. But the other truth of it is that it costs something to create this stuff, and in order to keep it going, that we need the money to be able to do that. So that I figured this was a nice balance between the two, leaving most of it free for the player base to use if you can't, because if you can't pay for it, I don't want to exclude you from it, but also allowing a way so we can make some money so that we can continue to build and innovate and stuff, and I can get some sleep. I would really like to be able to get some sleep, and so hopefully that can help with it.
Yeah, no, that's impressive. So it's just you and one other guy. That's it.
Yep, that's it. That's pretty much it. I got my clanmate Mitch, who's just amazing, dude. Just amazing. He's been great with me all throughout. He had a kid over the summer, and he's still been. That's part of the reason why it takes so long. Is it's just the two of us. But because it's just the two of us, I can really make this the way I want it done. I can hold things to a higher standard. I have someone that's we have a really good rapport and communication, and so like when I'm, he's willing to go that extra mile for the things I want, because I don't want something half done. I want it, perfect if we're gonna do it. And this is, I think, about as good. Honestly, this is better than I had ever expected to be. I think it looks beautiful, it works smooth, and I think people are gonna be really, really impressed with it. So.
Yeah, no, just looking at it right here, it looks incredible. Do you want to rehash on some things that people should know? Maybe somebody hasn't used this before, or maybe they're a sub of mine and they haven't seen your work before. Can you kind of maybe give people a quick couple minutes overview on some important things to know when you're diving into this?
Of course. Do you still have that news tab up, by the way?
I don't know. But okay, I got it pulled up now.
It's totally fine. Don't really matter. But yeah, basically, look, if when that news tab is up, and there is a little button up in the top right corner that says news, you can click on that and it'll pop back up. But that tab has all my social links up on top. So if you're looking to find my Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, Discord, Twitter, all that stuff, it is on there. So real easy access. And I say all that because what I created about 7 months ago was a clan boss calculator. So basically a way that you can put your team in and figure out the right speed so that you can have a speed tuned clan boss team. And when you're trying to get to that next level in clan boss, when you're trying to get to Ultra Nightmare, just flat out, or a 2-key Nightmare team, or even one of those crazy Batman Eater 1-key Ultra Nightmare teams, you need the calculator to be able to do that, because you need to be able to have your champions go at just the right order, at just the right speeds, and getting their skills to go at just the right time in order to make that work. And all these comps that we've seen come out over the last 7-8 months, they're coming, a lot of it comes directly from using this calculator. Not all of it, but I would say a good majority. Being able to tune your team and test it before you actually spend your silver on it, before you spend your gems on it, before you waste your keys on it trying to perfect it. Instead of doing that on your own, just moving gear around, well, now you can do all of that testing before you even try it. And then all you're doing is implementing what you know already works. And that's hard enough as it is, don't get me wrong. But you're saving millions upon millions of silver by being able to know exactly what speeds you need to reach before you start gearing. And so like that is just like a huge thing. And I know the community's embraced it a lot already. So if you guys aren't tuning your clan boss team yet, get on it, man. Come visit the website, check it out, check out the calculator. It's going to make a world of difference. And actually I have on the website a list of like over 70 different clan boss tunes that have already been perfected and made available for you guys. And this is one of the other wonderful features about this calculator. So, Chosen, I was talking earlier about how when you log in, you get the ability to save and share your comp. It creates a unique URL. Well, when you create that unique URL, like I said, you can then share it with somebody and they can view your team. That also means that every clan boss team and every tune we've created already, I'm going to have a direct link to it on the website for those comps. So you're looking to figure out, how do I build an unkillable team with Roshguard the Tower? Well, go to my speed tune list, look under unkillable, find a Roshguard the Tower team that looks good for you, and then I don't have it yet, but like within the next week or two, there'll be a link down there that it's going to take you directly to the calculator with the champions already plugged in, with the speeds already plugged in, so you can go ahead and just see, oh, this is what I need. This is exactly how it works. Got you. Now, obviously, some teams need some special instructions, but all that's in there, right? That's all on the speed tune list. So, like, as long as you don't, it's not dummy proof. Like, you still have to use the tool, right? You still have to be able to make sure that, you're using it to the best of its ability. But that's all there and available for you guys.
Yeah, no, this looks incredible. I was kind of running through, plugging in my champions. You got like the little avatar pictures and everything, and you can type it in to search for it really quickly. I mean, this looks absolutely incredible. Now, where do you actually save like your comp or whatever?
So when you save your comp, like we don't save it on the website, right? So it creates that unique URL, allows you to bookmark your team. And that bookmark is something you can share, but it's also something you can save. So if you bookmark it, or you can save it on your desktop if you wanted to, but now it's available for you. So all you have to do is click on that link, drop it back in the URL, and instantly that. But
how do you do that? Like, where's the button to like finalize or save progress or whatever?
So are you logged in right now?
Yep.
And there should be a save button up in the top right corner.
I don't see that, no. I see news, help, report a bug, and then my little avatar that lets me sign in or sign out.
Right, and you don't see a blue save button right next to that?
Do I have to like finish plugging stuff in or something, or?
Oh, you know what? You might. We just added you to our list. Why don't you go ahead and try logging out and logging back in again?
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's log out, log in. Oh, now I see the save button. Okay.
Yeah. So all you have to do is click that save button, and then what it's going to do is you'll see the blue swirly. It's going to save it. It'll generate a URL. It comes up with a thing. You can just click to copy it, or you just copy directly from the URL in the browser, and you can bookmark that as well.
Awesome. So that was good that happened. Is there maybe like, let's say somebody signs up, they want access to all the premium stuff, they want to support you. Maybe they sign up for whatever tier 2 on Twitch, and then a $5 Patreon or whatever. Is there like a maybe 10-minute window that it takes for that to kick in or something, like it just did for me?
I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure it actually should kick in right away. The unique thing with you is I was adding you special off of that. So it generally will just automatically make that work for you. If you're having any troubles, give it 10 minutes, refresh, try logging out, logging back in. I mean, the simple computer fixes we all are aware of, but it works. It'll log you right in. It shouldn't be an issue.
Cool.
And then obviously if it is, there's a million ways to get in touch with me. They're all over there. So you can always do that too, and we can work it out.
Yeah, so you can like work on this for 5 minutes, save it, and then just like bookmark that?
Yeah. Which is great too, because like, especially I think it's most valuable for those that are like in mid progression, right? Where you're constantly having to improve your clan boss team like a little bit at a time. And you're like, okay, well, what if I bring this champion in? What if I change this a little bit? How do I alter the speeds here? It becomes a lot easier for you to be able to continue to, update and check your team, and see what's available for you, and keep it fresh, as they say. I don't know who says that, but they should.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. So I clicked save, and then it generated a custom URL or something here. Yep, I see it. Okay. Yep. So now I got a more unique, customized. You can tell the URL is a lot more complicated now. Okay. So then as long as I just bookmark this URL, and then I can just keep working on it, saving it.
Exactly. And like, here's the thing: a lot of people work on their clan boss teams within clans, right? Or they go to different Discord groups because they need some help, or they're asking questions on Reddit. Well, one of the beautiful things about this is now you can just, once you save that, you can take that same URL and post it somewhere. Anybody that clicks on that link will be able to see that team, and everything that's permutated in that.
Yeah, you know how you see on Reddit all those people like screenshotting their damage and then like screenshotting the stats and the gear. So now this is gonna be nice. You can just kind of share the URL and be able to see the speeds and the rotation of the turns and what champions it is. And then so you want to explain the priority and cooldown and delay thing maybe for somebody that needs a refresher on that?
Of course. Yeah. So any of you guys that are fresh to the clan boss calculator, this first thing I gotta let you guys know, this is a tool, okay? It's a calculator. It works in, like, it's math, you know what I mean? Like, this thing is going to do things A, B, and C. It's not a person. It doesn't think for itself. So you guys have to do the thinking for it. So the priorities is going to prioritize the skills and when they're used. Now, just for, like, a majority of champions, this is how it works, right? I'm going to use my A3 skill, then my A2 skill, then my A1 skill. That's, like, 95% of the champions. Occasionally, there's a champion that will prioritize their A3 skill instead of their A4 skill. If you actually put Arbiter as one of the champions, you're going to see that be the case. Now, I've done a lot of the work already, not a ton of it, but I've done some of the work already where I have already put in some of the priorities for these champions. Like if you brought up Arbiter, you'll see her A3 is actually a higher priority than her A4 skill. And that means when she's being used in the calculator, she's going to actually use her A3 skill first and her A4 skill second. And that's what we want. That's kind of the focus, right? So like the whole point about speed tuning is making sure your champions are using their skills at the same time every time. So champions like Arbiter, like Martyr, they prioritize skills. They prioritize lower level skills over higher level skills sometimes. If you bring up a champion like Frozen Banshee, or I think Frozen Banshee is actually probably the perfect example here.
Yeah, I got it.
You'll see Frozen Banshee has a unique thing where she doesn't use her A2 skill against the clan boss because it affects turn meter and it screws everything up. So what we've done is we made her A2 skill, instead of taking it off, because I want you to know it's there, we made her A2 skill the lowest priority skill. So she'll only ever use her A3 and her A1 because her A1's constantly on, has no cooldowns, right? And so because of that, we're able to make it work in the calculator. So a lot of those things with the skills are already preloaded. And as we come across more, as I'm able to go through more of the champions, I'll be able to refine that list and make it better and better. But, you also got to recognize that not everybody's going to use their skills all the time. So like I just did a video on a double tower team. And there's 2 towers running at unkillable speed. Well, an interesting thing, if everybody has unkillable up, guess what tower won't use? His block damage skill. Sorry. If everybody has block damage up, tower won't use his block damage skill. So there are some unique times where the AI will throw it off, and we can't accommodate all of that stuff in the calculator.
Oh, yeah, there's so many thousands of exceptions. Yeah, you're just going to have to kind of work with it as you see it.
Exactly. And if you click that help button, it'll take you directly to basically like an explanation page, an instruction page for how the calculator works. And so there'll be a list of a bunch of those exceptions, a bunch of champions that aren't that don't fall, what you would expect in the calculator. It's not complete yet, but it is something that's going to be worked on continuously. So it gets updated over and over and over again, so it stays fresh. So you guys know which champions work and which don't. If somebody isn't working for you, you think should, check that first. It also has a nice step-by-step guide of how the calculator works, so it makes it pretty easy, I think, to be able to figure out what you're doing with this if it's your first time. And then, the cooldowns, obviously, are the cooldowns. And now, I know when you clicked on the champion, it pulls it up automatically. It's going to include their skills. It's going to include their cooldowns when fully booked, and it's going to include their base speed when fully ascended and leveled. However, you can change those. So let's say you haven't fully booked your champion. You can change the cooldown to accommodate that. Let's say you haven't fully ascended them. You can change the base speed to accommodate that as well. Makes it a lot easier.
A really common one is Sir Nick, right? With the books.
Sir Nick. Exactly. Nobody wants Sir Nicholas's A2 to be fully booked because he prioritizes that, but it'll throw off the tune. So if you don't fully book them, you can change that cooldown so that it's still a 4-turn cooldown, and then you can see how it would work in the calculator. And then obviously the last column there is delay, and delay is really important because let's say you have a counterattack champion, but they're going slower than the clan boss. You want them to put up the counterattack right after the clan boss does their stun, right before the AoEs.
Yep.
So if you click delay, it'll delay the amount of turns before they use that skill. So basically, it's kind of like putting that skill on cooldown right at the start of the turn. And then once they use it the first time, it'll go right through normal. But a lot of times, setup for these tunes takes a little bit of delay just to get everybody in sync at the right spot. So that's why that's there.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, if I hear you right, the priority is just how the champion's AI will function on auto, right?
That's the idea, yes.
Okay, and then the cooldown is just kind of the booking situation and what the cooldown of the champion prioritizing that skill is going to rotate through, right?
Exactly.
And then the delay is basically you manualing, to set up a specific rotation.
You got it, man. That's literally it. That's literally all it is. There's some people that will manual a full run. If you want to do that, you can change the priority of the skills all on your own as well. And that way you can even see, Sir Nicholas, for example, is a great example of this, honestly, because his AI is so wonky. But you can prioritize, you can change the priority of the skills if you want to. If you're like, hey, I'm gonna manual this. So let me see when I want to use the skills when I'm manually. Change the priority. You can do that. Then you'll actually see in the calculator where stuff comes. And I assume you have a team in there already. You can see this calculator. One of the big advantages of this one over the old one is it shows you the buffs that are being placed and when they're being placed and by whom. So you can actually track the buffs when they're going along. The old calculator didn't have that. So you kind of had to, mentally remember when skills are being used, how long it's staying on. Now you can actually have a visual reminder of counterattack's going on. How long is it going to stay on for? When is it going to fall off? Now you can see that right there. And it's got some cool, what I think is some pretty cool, guidance for that. If it's green, if the buff's green, it means it's being placed that very turn, right? That champion is using their skill to place that buff. If it's a hard blue, that means that champion not only began the turn with that skill up, but they are ending the turn with their skill up. And then if it's a faded blue, what that's saying is that, they started their turn with the buff, but by the end of their turn, that buff's going to be off. So that lets you know, hey, I need block debuffs on my champions. Well, if the champion goes before that second AoE or before the stun and it's fading, they're not going to have that actually up. So it's a good way to be able to see who has what buffs up when, which I think is really, really helpful. So
yeah, I like that. I was sitting here talking with you. I hadn't plugged in speeds and stuff. I just kind of threw in some random speeds and then it populated what you were saying. It shows you each turn and kind of the buffs and then the different shades of color you were kind of explaining there. Yeah, I like how that looks.
Yeah, the idea with this is obviously just to make it as user-friendly as possible, right? Like, I mean, look, I use this thing every day. So I want it to be as easy as possible for me to use. And that's kind of what the guiding principle on this stuff is. It's like, does it make it easier for me? How can I track this stuff? Like you can see the 3 columns there. Well, when you look horizontally, that's a full clan boss cycle. It takes you through each AoE and the stun. So you can see in a full cycle, like, how do we have our buffs up? How are we tuned? And then vertically, you can see within just one attack, right? So like the middle column is all right before the AoE too, right between the AoE. So you can see, all right, is this happening every single turn? Is this a consistent, constant pattern that's evolving here that we can see happening? So it makes it visually, you can see right away how it's working. Which I think, but for me, is super valuable.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. The left column, like the vertical column, is going to be the first AoE. The second vertical column is going to be the second AoE, and then the third one, a lot of people are usually curious about that one, is the stun.
Yeah, it's actually in. These are the skills being used before those attacks, right?
Yep.
So it's not just we want to make sure that the clan boss attack is happening after. But I mean, it's visually obviously right there. So
and it's laid out properly because it shows the clan, your team, and then the clan boss in red. Yep. So it's
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And where it says turn count, that's obviously the turn count for the clan boss, because that's what they count the turns on. It's not your turn. So like on that first, after the clan boss makes their first attack, now it's turn count 1. Right. Yep. So all your champions, that's how it works. So you can kind of see that visually line up right there. One thing I do kind of want to point out for you guys is that on that left column where you have all your champions, you go all the way down to the bottom. You don't have to scroll. Just at the bottom, there's like this gray bar with an arrow. If you click on that, it'll minimize that. So you get a bigger view of what you're looking at. So for those of you with really small monitors,
you said now that's where my camera is. So I'm going to remove that quick. Now you guys can just look at Deadwood.
They don't want that. They're gonna miss your beautiful face.
They don't want me on the screen anyway, so this will be better. Okay, so you click this little arrow, and then what? Oh, okay, I got it.
It minimizes it, opens up the picture. Now, this might seem like a really insignificant thing for a lot of us. For me, I don't ever bother using it. Right? I have 2 very large monitors. If you have a very small monitor, or if you're on mobile, what this means is that this is going to work beautifully on mobile because it opens up. You can fill in everything, and then click that, move those champions over to the side, and you can still see the turn meter bar right there for you. And you can actually, if you zoom in on your browser, you'll see that the I don't know what the proper word for this is, but like the visualization is, I want to say reflexive, or I don't know, something like that. But basically, it will adjust its size based on the size and the zoom that you're in. So when you're on mobile, it's a single column, right? Every turn will just go vertically for you, and like you can get that same kind of view here.
Okay.
So those of you that are used to the old calculator where it was displayed like that, everything's just straight up and down, you can still look at things that way in case this bigger view is a little bit more distracting. But I think the bigger view is better just generally, but I can understand why. It took me a while to adjust to it too. So, depending on what you want to do, you can check that out.
Yeah, when you zoom in and it can't fit all the columns 1, 2, 3, it switches to laying out all 50 turns vertically on one column.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So it's very flexible tool. I'm super super stoked about it. I'm glad I only need one for both mobile and desktop. I think it's gonna be real helpful for people here.
That's awesome.
I just really want to recommend everybody take the time to read those news pages. If there's something new, it'll be in there. And make sure to read the help page. Take the time. It's long, I know that, but it's because it's detailed. And those details are important to making this work. And I get a ton of questions that I've already answered if people would just take the time to read that. So I just recommend take that time. You'll benefit from it. 10 minutes now says, teach a man to fish, all that jazz. But, it's worth it.
You know how people are. Nobody wants to click through an automated system. They want to push 0. Give me a person. 0, 0.
That's fair. Well, here, let's do this. Click, play with this as much as you want. Once you come into a problem, then go to the help page. That's all I'm asking.
Cool. Yeah. No, that was good that you touched on the layout. That was fun to zoom in. And so you said it's mobile friendly too, huh?
Very. Yes. Yeah. That's one of my favorite parts about this is it works really well on mobile too.
And you just go to like a browser because there's no app, right? Like browser.
No, there's no app. So, literally, guys, just go to my website, DeadwoodJedi.com. Yep. It has it all laid out there. There's a little three tab thing up at the top when you go to my website, and it gives you all the different pages. So Clan Boss Calculator, and it will take you here and click profit. That's all I can say. Simple.
Yeah, that's incredible. So then, what's next? What's the next project? You take a break for a while and breathe, or what are you working on? What are you working on next?
Well, I'm gonna try and get some sleep for at least the next couple days. But outside of that, I think our next project is probably bringing Affinity Clan Boss to this, because I know Affinity can be one of the biggest hurdles for making a good speed tune. So like I said, all this stuff that you see right here, this is available to everybody. The new features are the stuff that you're going to need to be a subscriber in order to get access to. One of those is hopefully going to be the Affinity portion of the Clan Boss team. So working with green Affinity, working with regular Affinity, so for you Valkyrie people out there. And then also, I don't have the latest champions. The 3.2 champions have not been added just yet, but by the end of this week, hopefully by the end of today, I'll have all of those champions added as well to the calculator. So we'll have everything in there, and then it's just moving forward. Continuing to add champions, continuing to make sure their unique skills are being used properly, because like some of them are real strange. I'm still trying to figure out how best to use Rugnor, for example, or an axe, or trying to get like Necrit working perfectly. These champions take some special coding, and that takes a little bit of extra time. But over the next couple of weeks, I'm hopeful to get all that done, and then I would like to make sure that we can get the Affinity version of this available to people probably in the next, sometime in the next month. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, but we'll see kind of how much time that takes. Because, like I said, it's just me and one other person, and I have a full-time YouTube job. He has a full-time normal job. So trying to make the time to continue to work on this is challenging.
Yeah, no, I'm super impressed that 2 people. Yeah, no, you guys are doing incredible. Keep up the good work. So I'm happy to be able to sit down with you and kind of get an explanation of a behind the scenes look at some of the features and kind of what went into it. So I know you got to get to like streaming and stuff, so I don't want to keep you too long, but. Yeah, no, is there anything you want to say on the way out? Just that I didn't cover or ask you about or anything?
No, not really. I mean, you guys might notice the fine wood grain behind some of the names on there. There's little details in there and stuff. I'm very proud of this thing. I'm very excited about it. I hope the community is as well. I've got nothing but love and support from everybody so far, and I, just so thankful for that. And I'm real excited to see where this thing can go the next step. So, hopefully we get some real support behind this, and if we can do that, then I think we can start getting some more and faster updates going for it. And kind of excited to do that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Find my YouTube, subscribe.
All right, see you, man.
Full on shill here, guys. Full on shill. Thanks, Chosen.
You bet. Alrighty, that's gonna do it for this one. As always, huge shout out to Deadwood for taking the time to walk me through some of the stuff that you should know about his new Clan Boss calculator. I'm super excited for it. I think it's going to be an amazing tool for the raid community. And remember, down below in a pinned comment, I will have a link to Deadwood's channel. You should definitely go throw him a sub if you have not already, because he does amazing stuff in the raid community. So that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.